Hello and welcome to preparedness. How's everybody doing? I gotta figure out some other way to start these videos. I don't know. Anyway, we'll jump right in here today. Last week, I believe it was last week, I made a video about not worrying about buying the best gear, the best stuff, the best things. Just get stuff that you can afford now to check off the boxes and then upgrade as you go. And today's video is going to be kind of like that, but instead of gear, I want to talk about your skills. I've mentioned on the channel here before, skills is what is going to separate people that are going to make it and not make it as far as long term. I don't care how many bags of blank that you have. I don't care how many rounds of ammo and water filters and everything else and all the food stockpiled and everything else. If we're talking about a long-term event, eventually everything is either going to run out or break. So that is where your skills come into play. You guys, like I said, have heard me preach that on here before. So for the beginner prepper, what should you be focusing on? I recommend that everybody get some wilderness survival skills. Okay, that's kind of how, man, I can't talk today. Kind of what led me into the preparedness. But those things can help even if you're not living out in the woods, right? Eventually, you're going to have to make a fire. Eventually, you're going to have to do this, do that. But get some wilderness survival skills. Tons of good YouTube videos out there. Dave Canterbury, a lot of his videos, especially his older stuff's very good. A guy by the name of David West, I've mentioned him before on here. As far as making fire, guy can make fire, okay? But do some research, and then when you start to try these things out, don't go out in the woods. Let's say you're going to make fire, and you're out there and you're rubbing two sticks together all day long, and you get fed up and you quit. Don't start off with the hardest thing there is. Start off small, okay? See if you can, number one, make a fire. Whatever you got to do. Figure out what you had to do. Next step, try to make a fire using one match. Okay, that's kind of the old tried and true, right? One match fire. And then after that, okay, I've got a lighter. Sorry, not a lighter. That would be under the match. But after the match, then try your char cloth. Okay. Strike a spark and get your char cloth going. After that, then you can work on scraping some fat wood or getting some real fine fibers and trying a ferro rod. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people, dude, you got to check out this fire rod. It's a foot long and an inch in diameter. I can make all kind of fires. Not if you don't have everything else in place first. And that's where starting easy and working up to that, you're going to learn what it takes to make fire in the wilderness. And you're going to have success. So success breeds confidence, breeds want to know more, want to do better. If you start off with friction fire, you're going to get upset, you're going to get frustrated, and you're just never going to worry about it again. So try to start off small. Water filtration, not too big a deal, but like we said, even the water filters, they are going to break or run out at some point in time. The ceramic filters are real nice. It takes a long time, but like anything else. So boiling water. So you got your fire, get you a pot, go down to the creek, pond, whatever it is, and start you a fire. Man, there we go. Sorry, beard's all disheveled. As far as food, okay. Instead of going to go out and I'm going to live off the land, off of wild edibles and hunting and trapping, once again, start off small. You figured out your fire, you purified your water, you know, make you some tea, make you some coffee in the woods, take the old mountain house and make you some food. You've had some success now. You can feed yourself in the woods, but then work up to that, because once again, eventually the mountain house is going to run out. As far as the wild edibles, start with the easy ones. Everybody knows what a dandelion is. Everybody should know. Identify your dandelions. Identify the nut trees. Nut trees are pretty easy, okay? Those wild edibles, don't start off with mushrooms. Not only could that get you frustrated, it could get you killed. But start off with the easy things, the things that you know that are in your area, the things you've seen in your backyard. If you get a wild edibles pamphlet book, whatever it is, and you just go sit down in the backyard and you look around like the edge of your property, who knows all the different things you're going to be able to identify and see. So what we got: food, water, fire. As far as shelter, okay, instead of walking out in the woods with a knife and you're going to build you a survival shelter, go out with a tent, okay? Going out with a tent will teach you real quick all those little pebbles and roots that you didn't really see when you cleared away your spot. Looks like a great spot. You're going to be feeling all those all night long, okay? And you're going to figure out, I need to put something between the ground and me, as well as the ground just sucking the heat right out of your body. You're going to figure out that even in the summertime, at night, it gets kind of cooler. You might need a blanket to go with you, or at least a jacket or something like that you can throw over you. And then after you've done a couple nights in a tent, okay, then you can work up to maybe something like a hammock and a tarp over it, and then a lean-to using a tarp, okay? Work on your knots and all this stuff. You get that down, then you can start working on your debris shelters and all that other good stuff. Start easy and work your way up. Oh, what else we got? As far as security, okay. Yeah, don't start out trying to make these booby traps and all this other stuff. You're probably going to end up getting yourself really hurt. But start out, just if you've never shot before, shooting a shotgun a little bit. Figure out what happens, what it feels like, what you got to do. Work up to your pistol, work up to things like that. Get good with those things before you have to start worrying about hand-to-hand combat or knife fighting or anything else. So just take it easy and work up. There's so many things that everybody just wants to jump into what they see the guys on the survival shows doing and all that other stuff. So to coincide with the video I made last week about that, when it comes to your skills, start off slow, start off easy. As far as your skills around the home, okay, don't start off trying to build a house if you've never hung a sheet of drywall in your life, okay? So start off small. Figure out how to change an outlet if you've never changed an outlet. You know, figure out that you got to kill the power, take off the cover, all that other stuff. Start off easy. Heck, if you're concerned about that, figure out how to change a light bulb. You know, start off slow, start off easy, and work your way up. Figure out what it is you have to do as far as framing and electrical and plumbing, and go from there. As far as seeing these guys building their own off-grid cabin in the woods, see people take a chainsaw and a machete and they go out and they buy an acre of land out in the woods, and they stop to think, well, sorry, they didn't stop to think that you got to clear that land first. And something they think's going to take a couple days to throw up, heck, they don't even have a walkway cut into their spot yet. So start off small, start off easy, work your way up. Now, I'm not saying don't study, don't watch the YouTube videos trying to learn how to do the hard things, because at any time something could happen, and if you haven't taken the time to even acquaint yourself with the harder things, you're going to have no idea what to do. So yeah, I mean, go ahead, watch the videos, read the books, but when it comes to practical application, take her slow, take her steady. What else? I had a couple other things I was going to mention, and they're escaping my mind right now, but I think that covers, you know, as far as home food preservation. You know, you don't want to start out that you're going to can a whole beef, or you're going to make cheese and you're going to make your own soap. You know, start off easy. Just learn how to prepare a meal from the shelf-stable things you have in the house already, and move up from that. As far as the storage, learn, canned goods store for a while, but if you keep them in a damp root cellar that has a tendency to freeze when the temperature gets too low, those ain't any good. So you got to figure out what you have to do to remedy that. My family, we lost quite a bit of food a few years ago. People in my family had gone out and they had just bought canned goods, and we took them and we put them in the root cellar, and we had problems with leaking before, and they had never taken the time to protect the cans. So now we got a couple hundred rusty cans that are bulging and everything else because they froze, and they're pretty much worthless. They make good targets though. So take the time to learn about the stuff, what you got to do, how you got to treat it, and take it from there. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up, and appreciate everybody watching and commenting and everything else. Do the like, share, subscribe thing. Helps us out immensely. And until next time, see you all. Bye.